Hello and welcome to a new section. This is going to be a regular section for the Sunday Soak. I am stuck in my house here. We are shielding and in full lockdown, so I know there'll be some of you who are living that experience as well. And so to be able to continue to be part of the Sunday Soak, I'm going to try and bring you each week Oli interviews as I chat to a few people around the network, talk about mission and discipleship, learn a little bit more about the multiplier role that I have stepped into and what that might look like, and think about justice, love for one another, care for the poor, and how that is all good news, and how we follow Jesus together. And so for our first time, I thought it'd be good to speak from my shielding house to another shielding house. Lucy and David, welcome. Thank you for agreeing to be my first guests on Oli interviews. For people who don't know you yet, do you guys want to just introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Lucy. I've been part of Christ Church since 2009. I don't tend to come to a lot of the services because I have to stay at home a lot. But yeah, I like being part of the church community, and certainly since lockdown, I've been more involved than I've ever been able to be involved in society and in church. So that's been a real privilege for me and a real upbeat thing.
Excellent.
I'm David. I'm Lucy's husband, and I'm a relatively new Christian. I only really became a Christian earlier this year, actually around Easter time. The previous Easter, Lucy had gotten baptised, and I think it was then that I started to realise that the community spirit and the just the sense of belonging was there for me as well. And as I say, this lockdown time has given me the opportunity to have more time to come online and to come on morning prayer and to sort of immerse myself in the Word as well. And so I've been embracing that.
Brilliant. Fantastic. I mean, really exciting then to hear that for you guys. Obviously, it's been a challenging time for the last few months, but also a really exciting time. And yeah, I've been really encouraged, David, to be hearing about how you've had that chance to explore and grow in faith, even though actually life has been very restricted for many of us, but God is definitely not locked down, and it's been a time of real growth and development for you.
Mm.
Absolutely. I mean, over the years, Lucy she's probably discipled me really, and she's exposed me to various things like UCB radio, and we used to watch Joyce Meyer on the TV and things like that. I kind of have to say that I used to not look down on that sort of thing, but I was more of an atheist, to be fair. But then I've seen the goodness. I've literally seen the goodness of God, even through all these trials and tribulations that we've been going through, and it's given me a new sense of real liberation and joy, which seems crazy in these times, but that's how I really feel. So.
Amazing. Good news. Thank you. That's really exciting, and really exciting for me to hear. Like you said, Lucy's been discipling you. I think an encouragement to all of us to think, actually, this is not about special training. It's not about being in a leadership position, but we all can be on that journey where, with one or two other people, we're just having those conversations, introducing those ideas, and giving people the opportunity to explore. Well done, Lucy.
Everybody's been so welcoming. I'm in a Bible discovery group as well, which has been great. I've sort of conquered my Zoom phobia as well. I would have never done anything like this, not in public or even online. So yeah, it's a whole new world for me.
Fantastic, brilliant. And some of I've ended up having more conversations with you guys than I have with quite a few other people, because one of the things we connected on quite early on when I arrived was I put out a bit of a message saying I'm a bit of an eco nut, a bit of a climate activist, and if there's anyone else who's interested in exploring that, I'd love to connect. And so we managed to have a great conversation in the cafe when such things were allowed, and you've joined on to be part of the Eco Church working group that we've set up, where we're exploring together how Christ Church can be part of that journey of caring for creation. And one of the things I'd love to hear you guys say a little bit about is how for you that is part of mission, because we've had that talk that it's not just being green and kind of a bit of a care for nature nut, but this is about God's work, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, for me, well, for us both really, as kind of bearers of God's image, I think all people and Christians, we've got a responsibility and a privilege to care for what God has created. And I think we need to love and care for the earth a bit more, because it was God's very good creation in the beginning. And that's about caring for the most vulnerable people and also for the most vulnerable parts of the world and the planet. I think sometimes our day-to-day choices and attitudes can be driven by our culture or by our desire or by our want for material objects, but when it's all stripped back, I think we need to appreciate that, there's species that are becoming extinct, animals, crops that are failing, obviously climate change. And I think it's now time that we need to move forward and try and care again for God's creation and God's world.
Yeah, I mean, through the Eco Church ideals, I became aware for the first time about the Church of England's 5 marks of mission, and the fourth and fifth ones of those relate to both social justice and the environmental issues. Big time, that's part of the remit, I guess, of being a Christian.
Yeah.
So,
and that's about proclaiming good news, isn't it? The first mark of mission is to proclaim good news, and that can be with our words, and that's about supporting others in discipleship and growth in faith. It's about loving service, but it's also about working for justice and care for creation. And that's all. It's good news to the whole of creation, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think we've all tended to look. We've looked inwardly, perhaps because of the lockdown, particularly. And but there's no reason now, especially with the vaccine coming along and everything. We've got to start thinking about the bigger picture and the bigger issues and what's going on for a lot of people in the world. Who aren't as lucky as us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I also think that the lockdown and COVID has helped us to appreciate creation a bit more, looking at the natural world, going out, just appreciating the little flowers that just grow maybe on a random rock. It's really amazing when you see these beautiful little things just pop up, and it's probably a weed, but it's one of God's creations.
Yeah, it's just a flower. It's just a flower in the wrong place.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah. And so everyone can be watching out. Lucy and David and a few others, we've been part of an Eco Church working group. We're going to be hopefully coming to the rest of the network with some of the things that we've found, some of the conversations we've had on that in the coming months. And I think this kind of stuff fits in, really well with where one of the directions I'm expecting my Multiply role to go in, because this is there are a lot of people, particularly young adults, who have also been switched on to say caring for the rest of the world is an important part of our responsibility, is part of what it means for us to be human. And I think people as people of faith, we've got some really important ethics and reasoning behind that. We've got some really important contributions and some great partnership working that we can have with others who might not yet be walking in Jesus' footsteps, but they're doing a lot of things he does. So I'm really excited to have you guys on board with that. Really excited to be working on the Eco Church journey, and I look forward to bringing more to you, Christchurch. Guys, can I pray for you, and then I'm going to hand back to Mark. This is all pre-recorded. If anyone hadn't noticed that, we've done this on Thursday, but it's all good. Lucy and David, may God bless you richly as you go through this time of life being restricted and yet connected as well. May it continue to be a time of growth for both of you in faith and love. And as we explore Eco Church together, may God show you more the riches and beauty of his creation, and may he teach you how to live wisely and well, and to care for that, and to encourage others in caring for his good world as well. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you both.
Thank you.